Alright, here we are. Hello YouTube, one moment while I announce the stream. One moment. Yeah. There we are. Okay. So, I'm not sure what I want to do first, to be honest with you. A second. Oop, hello Zeta, how are you? Sorry, I had to grab something. I'm alright. Wee bit tired, but what's new? Chilling, that's good. So I want to go ahead and complete night 6 on FNAF today. I don't know about night 7. Night 7 seems to be something like basically a challenge mode, from what I can tell. But we do have this video, it's an hour long, almost exactly, about the FNAF lore. I've seen some other people have reacted to this apparently. Night 7 is a challenge mode? Yeah, I figured. Because I was looking up, I just wanted to make sure that I knew how to do it, and it's basically the same thing. Night 5 and Night 6 are basically the same thing, except the animatronics are slightly harder, slightly more active. Yeah, 420. I don't know why it's so hot in my room today for some reason. So I got a coin. And heads, we will play FNAF first, and tails, we will watch the video first. Because I don't really know what I want to do first. So let's go ahead and see. Oh, I don't fucking drop it. I immediately dropped it. I didn't even flip it, I just slipped out of my hand. Alright, let's try that again. Bet it's heads. We'll see. Oh, it is heads. I forgot what I said heads was gonna be. What did I say head was gonna be? I think I said heads we were gonna play the game first, right? I think that's what I said. Okay then. In that case, turn on the recording and let's try to not break everything again. Yep, already breaking. Very good. And I think the game crashed. Oh, we're good so far, still. Yeah. It is a pain to stream this game because it's so old that it doesn't really work properly to stream. Or record for that matter. Okay, there we go. Alright, so from what I can tell, it's basically just the same strategy as before. Just not really even paying attention to the cameras. This is what I've seen, so I guess we'll just jump into it, see if we can't get this done today. It's largely luck, as long as I can be fast enough. Actually, wait. Hello, Ox, how are you? Okay. See how things go. So in order to actually even do this, I've learned some interesting things about the game and how it works. Apparently, everyone except Foxy's AI functions off of the camera. Like literally, if you never touch the camera, none of them can kill you except for Foxy. I think we'll check Pirate's Cove. At 2. The problem is with this strategy, it kind of hurts my wrist, to be honest with you. I should be okay though. Fuck, how the fuck is Foxy there already? I clicked out of the fucking game, god damn it. This run is going terribly anyway. I might have to start over, to be honest with you. I actually can't believe fucking Fox is already out. That's so unlucky. Foxy's probably gonna attack though, like, really soon. I don't know if it's better to force Foxy to attack or what though. I thought I heard it and I couldn't tell, to be honest, because of fucking Chica in the kitchen. That's so fucking unlucky. Because I wasn't slow either, and yet it was, and yet they were actually out already. Just do this for beginning. Can you fuck off already? Dude, seriously? I was on hour 3 by the time Foxy got me last time. Okay. I predicted that, to be honest. Okay. Might only have to give myself like 3 attempts here, cause this shit does kind of hurt my hand to do this. Fucking Foxy. Relax. I don't like the footsteps. Hello. Foxy's out again. Hello, Teddy. Sorry, I can't really read chat right now. Yeah. They are still there. Really does kind of hurt my hand. Next time Bonnie shows up, I'll check on Foxy again. Still there. Foxy's the only thing that can really kill me at this point. Come on. I think we're okay. Cutting it close. Okay. Fucking Foxy. I can't believe that they got me that first time. That was so unlucky. Christ. Alright, but I think I will save Night 7 for when I get my model, because you can actually see me be a lot more expressive. And so I think it'll just be more fun for everyone involved. Although to be honest, I'm not like a super, like, even when Foxy killed me, I was just kind of like, oh man, my face didn't really change. But alright, okay. Also sorry, I didn't really see another tank. Welcome in. Yeah, second try, not bad. Okay, god. I love this game, I genuinely do, but fucking it makes me shake when I play it. I don't get scared from horror games normally, so I guess kind of shows just how big of a deal this game is. But okay, so like I said, I just wanted to do that, and we can check out this video, the entire FNAF timeline by FNAF has 7.4 million views. It came out 10 months ago. Now we just started, so I haven't really been even streaming anyhow. But alright, let's go ahead and... because I am a fairly new person to FNAF. It's just not a game that I've been paying attention to. I've seen obviously gameplay of it, clips of it, especially when it first came out, but other than that, don't really know too much. I'm doing good. I just tracked down pretty solid, thank you. Before stream and even a couple days ago, I was actually just researching this strat, to be honest with you, because I did not want to have to put up with that more than I really should have. Maybe that makes it a bit boring for some people, but I don't want to put up with it for longer than I have to. Especially for an older game, I don't know. But alright, let's go ahead and check this out.
She can sing.
All back, all of them, together in one place.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a franchise with over a decade's worth of content, spanning countless games, books, and now a movie. There's a reason that no matter whose timeline you watch, they all look different. Making a FNAF timeline is not easy. There are so many ways you can interpret this story, and this is mine. So let's start at the beginning.
God, it's so weird to think that FNAF has been out for
Back in the
10 plus
70s,
years.
A company called Fazbear Entertainment got its start by creating different props and mascot costumes for carnivals, and specifically for something called the Fall Fest. The Fall Fest featured various mascot characters, such as a bird, an elephant, and the most popular of all, Fredbear and Bonnie. These
Is this footage in game somewhere?
costumes were so popular, Fazbear Entertainment opened a dedicated restaurant for them called Fredbear's Family Diner, featuring the same Fredbear and Bonnie mascot costumes from the Fall Fest. What Fazbear Entertainment didn't account for, though, was one of their animatronics from the Fall Fest going rogue, ending in a giant fire, with most of everything from the Fall Fest being destroyed.
Okay. I guess this is... yeah, like animated. Where have I heard this song before? I swear it sounds familiar to something, I can't recall. Oh, thank you, Teddy.
The specifics about...
Sorry, how many games have FNAF are there at this point? Like 10 at this point? And I guess there's books or something. I didn't even know that there was books until recently.
The animatronic that went rogue and the fire are unknown and will likely be revealed next year in FNAF's next big release. Although we don't know much about how this fire occurred, we do know that after the fire, Fazbear Entertainment started phasing out of the mascot costume era. They needed something new. The two men who helped found Fazbear Entertainment, William Afton and Henry Emily, stepped up to the plate. William Afton was mostly
I've heard of William Afton,
handling all of the money, while Henry was the more creative one, with him being in charge of building most of the animatronics and props for the company. With the Fall Fest era of the company coming to a close, they were only left with Fredbear's Family Diner, the standalone restaurant created for the Fredbear and Bonnie characters. In order to replace the
I thought William was the bunny.
Of Fredbear and Bonnie,
Not gonna
Henry
lie.
went to work on new versions of the characters, eventually creating the new Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, the same characters but with new designs and new suits. Henry called them Springlock suits. These suits are able to double as both an animatronic and a suit that the employees could wear. To switch the suit from animatronic mode to suit mode, the employees could use a hand crank to pull back the animatronic parts, leaving room for them to climb inside. The spring locks that were helping to hold back those animatronic parts were very sensitive though, and with even a little bit of moisture, the spring locks could potentially snap shut, crushing and killing whoever was inside. But if that ended up happening, Fazbear Entertainment had some common sense procedures set in place.
A big oversight.
Come loose while you are wearing a suit, please try to maneuver away from populated areas before bleeding out, as to not ruin the customer experience.
Fredbear's Family Diner ended up being super successful for William and Henry, so
that
much so
Disney.
that other companies tried replicating it. Another company proceeded to rip off Fazbear Entertainment's old mascot characters by creating their own animatronic versions of them. The leader of the group was Ned Bear, a direct copy of Fredbear, followed by a hippo, an elephant, and a frog. All characters from the Fall Fest, and all
see these in games
slightly
anywhere?
different designs to avoid copyright issues. But while the rival company was able to replicate the designs, they could not replicate Henry's state-of-the-art technology. Their robots were poorly made and had to have giant batteries with exposed wires on stage with them.
Okay, but like, who the fuck even likes animatronics? Did anyone ever go to Chuck E. Cheese? That shit terrified the fuck out of me. Like, what kid ever actually likes animatronics? I feel like that's more of a cruel joke from adults.
Naturally, the rival company failed and ended up being bought out by Fazbear Entertainment. With all of the success from Fredbear's Family Diner, William and Henry decided to branch out and create more characters for a new restaurant. In 1983, William and Henry opened Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, featuring Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. With the opening of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Fazbear Entertainment was experiencing success like they've never seen before. But with two restaurants now open at the same time, more success also meant more work for William and Henry. The duo were so wrapped up in work that they started neglecting their own families. William was the father of 3 kids, the eldest, Michael, the crying child, and Elizabeth. The crying child has yet to have a 100% confirmed name, so for this—
Michael. I remember seeing InSim's video on The Joy of Creation, was it? I think you mentioned that. Wasn't Michael in there? Obviously that was a fan game. You like the animatronics? They thought they were fucking awesome. They were fucking terrified. Just terrified me. I have a very distinct memory from Chuck E. Cheese where I was hiding under the table because I was terrified of Chucky and he was walking towards us. And he peeked under the fucking table, and to this day, it like I probably was having fun. It wasn't his fault, but it scared the shit out of me when I was fucking like 3 years old or whatever.
this video, he will just be called the crying child. Meanwhile, Henry had one kid, a daughter named Charlie. The business partners spent most of their days working, so they both created different ways of taking care of their kids. Henry was the robotics genius, so he used his
I've never heard of Henry
talent to create
before.
a new animatronic to watch Charlie for him. It was called the security puppet. This animatronic would sit by
Why
the
make
door
it
of
scary?
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and make
It's
sure
it's
that
already
Charlie
scary.
wasn't able to leave the building. This made it so Charlie could play at the restaurant while Henry worked, without Henry having to worry about her leaving the building or getting kidnapped. The robot was linked directly to a green bracelet that Charlie was wearing. If Charlie, wearing the green bracelet—
What do animatronics these days look like? Because I have no idea. Is Chuck E. Cheese even around? I thought it went bankrupt. Do animatronics look like better these days or what? I hope so. Because you can do some really cool stuff with it.
tried leaving the building, the security puppet would spring into action. William, on the other hand, was the businessman of the
Terrifying
company. He cared more
puppet.
about making money, but also saving money. Naturally, he decided to just force his eldest son, Michael, to babysit while he was at work. Michael was mostly in charge of babysitting the crying child. The crying child didn't have many friends, but he did have a close relationship with his plushies. These plushies
Just a guy in a
were
suit
characters
now.
from his favorite show, Fredbear and Friends, Fazbear Entertainment's newest cartoon, featuring Fredbear, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. The crying child's favorite character, though, was Fredbear. He especially loved his Fredbear plushie. Although he loved the plushie version
That's a
of the
plushie?
characters, the animatronics would soon become a different story. One day, while visiting Fredbear's family diner, the crying child saw something that would scar him for the rest of his life. While wandering the restaurant, he walked by the employees only room, where an employee accidentally left the door open. Inside the room was his father, William Afton, helping another employee into a spring Bonnie suit. But through the eyes of the crying child, this looked like someone was literally being stuffed into an animatronic suit. The crying child was so young that he wasn't educated on how the mascot characters worked, so seeing a human be put inside of one terrified him. When a child experiences something traumatic, their brain naturally tries finding ways to deal with that trauma. The crying child's way of dealing with his trauma was by creating an imaginary friend. This imaginary friend took the form of the object he loved the most, his Fredbear plushie. His new
that does not
imaginary
look like Freddy
friend
at all.
Fredbear followed him wherever he went,
Excellent
shapeshifting into
parroting.
flowers, hiding behind cars and in the sewers, with nobody being able to see him except for the crying child.
Okay,
When the crying
this is
child
in-game,
was
right?
overwhelmed, the plushie would talk to him and try to calm him down. Even when the plushie wasn't around, it was still able to speak to him because it lived in his mind. While the crying child was dealing with the trauma of seeing what he thinks was someone being stuffed into, knew about what happened with his younger brother and used it against him. Every day while babysitting the crying child, Michael would put on a fox
classic
mask,
older
hide
brother
somewhere
stuff,
in the
traumatizing
house,
your
and jump
sibling.
scare his little brother.
Okay, that was FNAF 4. Is this in game? Oh, the in-between mini game. Okay, I saw that in Game Grumps like years ago. That's why it looked familiar to me. I don't think this is in any game that I've ever seen.
From the pizzeria to your living room, you no longer have...
Shit, hold on. YouTube again, I think. Hold on, let me look. Look at my stream health again. Shit. Okay, might be tweaking a little bit.
The way to sing and dance with Fredbear and Friends. Weeknights at 8, 7 Central. Only on...
This is custom? Like they made it, right? I think it said like animators in the beginning, I think, right? The fuck kind of terrifying ass house is this? Okay. I was typing and that
All
caught
of
me off
Michael's
guard.
bullying, the crying child's imaginary friend Fredbear would comfort him and talk him through the situation, saying, "You know he is hiding again. Be careful. Tomorrow is another day." Michael wasn't the only one bullying the crying child, though. The local kids in the neighborhood heard about why the crying child was so scared of the pizzeria, even making up fake rumors related to what the crying child thought he saw there. "You'd better watch out. I hear they come to life at night. And if you die, they hide your body and never tell anyone." But all of this bullying would come to a head on one special day, the crying child's birthday. Ironically, his birthday party was being held at Fredbear's family diner. Because he was so terrified of being at the pizzeria, he hid under the table, not knowing that Michael and his friends were nearby, planning a prank that would go terribly wrong.
Hiding from Chuck E. Cheese. Is there a pizza up top? Because that was what was happening to me. Trying to get pizza.
Sure you grab your pizza. Fredbear and Spring Bonnie.
Oh shit. Wait,
5 minutes.
there is pizza. Oh fuck, they turned on the AC, so you might hear something whenever I talk. Sorry about that. Yeah, no wonder he's crying. Knowing I would be. You know, me and my sister never really played pranks.
Michael and his friends lifted the crying child up to, quote, give Fredbear a big kiss, and Fredbear bit down on him, leaving his body to go limp. Michael and his friends quickly stopped laughing. Because of Michael's immature behavior, his terrified younger brother paid the ultimate price. Although the crying child was badly hurt, he didn't immediately die. Because of the immense brain damage, he slipped into a coma. After being treated at a hospital, the crying child was taken home so he could be comfortable, surrounded by his only friends, his plushies. In the crying child's final moments, Michael decides to apologize for what he's done, saying, "Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry." After Michael speaks, the crying child's imaginary friend Fredbear, created out of the trauma he experienced, continues doing what it's done the whole time. It comforts him, saying,
classic prank,
we are still
brain
your
damage.
friends. Do you still believe that? I'm still here. I will put you back together. This would be the final thing the crying child hears before he dies.
You know, it's actually funny you say that, because I remember watching a video by Steve-O where he was going over like 10 of like the worst, I don't know, like tricks or pranks or something that people were doing, like TikTok trends is what it was. And one of them was where two people jump, then the person in the center jumps, and the two people on the outside sweep their legs and make them fall on their back. And I'm pretty sure like at least 2 people died from that, because you're literally just making them hit their own head on the fucking floor, like full speed by doing that. I don't really fuck with head injuries anymore after what happened to my grandfather, so.
Crying child's spirit would then live on in the Fredbear suit, the thing that took his life. The crying child's death wasn't just an accident. It was directly caused by Michael's recklessness. This is something that Michael could potentially face jail time for, so it needed to be covered up. Since the crying child was being kept at home, no one else knew that he ended up passing away. So William and Michael ended up
what about the friends,
the
though?
crying child's body in the middle of the woods where no one would find him. No tombstone, no flowers, just a pile of dirt, an unmarked grave, and a lifetime's worth of guilt that Michael would have to live with. Shortly after the incident, Fredbear's family diner was quickly shut down, and Fredbear was completely wiped from existence. The Fredbear and Friends TV show turned into Freddy and Friends on tour. The Fredbear and Spring Bonnie Springlock suits also ended up being moved into the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, mainly being used as spare suits if one of the Freddy's animatronics broke down. The death of William Afton's youngest son was a pivotal moment in this story, specifically William Afton's story. This was the first domino to fall. A father losing his son is a traumatic situation.
What a weird way to
while any other father would take
personify
time to
William.
grieve, be sad, and properly deal with such a big loss, William Afton took a different route. Afton definitely was upset about his son dying, but it wasn't because he felt bad for his son, it was because it was embarrassing to him. William Afton was a narcissist. He had little to no empathy. All he cared about was work and comparing himself to his business partner.
Dude, my fucking son died, cringe. How embarrassing. I guess that is just how a narcissist thinks, but it's fucking weird to say out loud.
Henry had a wife, a kid, and a talent for robotics that Afton was utterly jealous of. The death of the crying child sent Afton over the edge, because while Henry's family was still perfect, his was now broken. Henry and William had different ways of taking care of their kids, and while Afton employing his eldest son failed, Henry's security puppet succeeded. Henry's daughter, Charlie, lived on. Afton had a hard time dealing with this feeling of embarrassment.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Charlie.
He started becoming an alcoholic, frequently visiting the local bar called Junior's. One night though, after drinking a little too much and getting kicked out of the bar, he decided that he was going to settle the score with Henry. Afton, drunk and filled with rage, drove from the bar to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where he knew Charlie was being watched over by Henry's security puppet. Afton planned on risking everything to kill Henry's daughter, Charlie. He didn't care if he got caught, and he didn't care if he went to prison.
Bro, this is all animated?
When Afton got to Freddy's, he noticed that Charlie was
like custom
standing
animated
outside by herself. It turned out that some bullies were able to trap the security puppet in its box and lock Charlie outside the building, giving Afton the perfect opportunity to kill Charlie outside of the pizzeria. The security puppet was eventually able to escape its box and went looking for Charlie. As Afton sped away, the puppet noticed that Charlie was outside in the pouring rain. It then did what it was programmed to do and went to protect her.
I like that it's floating.
But as the puppet got closer to Charlie's body, the rain started making it short circuit.
Like
it was forced
animation
to crawl its way over to her
budget
until
cut.
the rain got to be too much, and the puppet shut down right next to Charlie's body. While Charlie and the puppet lay lifeless next to each other, Afton was speeding home, driving right past where he buried his son and the bar he got kicked out of. When Afton got home, he was met with his wife sitting in the living room watching TV, and Michael in his bedroom. Afton was a drunk and abusive father, and fully blamed Michael for what happened to his youngest son. Mrs. Afton tells him to leave Michael alone because he's had a tough day, but Afton doesn't listen. He goes over to Michael's room and pounds on the door, only for the door to be locked. He then makes his way around the house to try and find a way in from the outside, but once he gets to Michael's bedroom window, he notices that it's broken, and Michael is gone. Michael was
We can't
so
just open the
upset by
window?
what he did to his brother that he would sometimes see visions of Fredbear appear and disappear. Tonight, Fredbear appeared outside his bedroom window, and it almost felt like his brother was calling out to him from beyond the grave. This would happen frequently, and every
Damn.
time it did, Michael would run to the spot where they buried his younger brother, only to find that nothing had changed. His younger brother was still gone and buried in the ground. Afton knew Michael did this often, saying, "Ran off to that place again. He will be sorry when he gets back." The guilt of killing his younger brother haunted Michael in his real life, but also in his dreams. Michael would constantly have nightmares about the animatronic that took his brother's life. These were the exact same nightmares his younger brother used to have every night, now passed on to him.
Why did it sound like there's gonna be a sick, like, dubstep beat dropping right then? Do we get a game like this? It looks fucking awesome. It's so well made. That's FNAF 4. Okay.
After the death of Charlie, Fazbear Entertainment tried their best at covering it up. Fortunately for them and for William, the crime was committed outside.
That looks so
where
cool.
No one was around to witness it. William was able to get away with everything, while Fazbear Entertainment never spoke of the incident again. The security puppet was quickly moved to the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where the retired Fredbear and Spring Bonnie suits resided. But something was different about the security puppet. Dark tears now appeared on the mask of the animatronic. Dark tears that weren't there before. This is something that Afton quickly noticed the next day when he went into work. He'd heard about what happened moments after he sped off. He knew the security puppet was found laying next to Charlie's body. So does that mean Charlie's soul now resided in the puppet? William definitely noticed that the puppet looked different, almost like it was haunted, almost like it was thinking. Other employees would eventually notice the
Was it not said how Charlie
I'll be
died?
honest, I never liked that.
Like how he killed her?
It's always thinking, and it can go anywhere.
After realizing the security puppet may be possessed by the spirit of Charlie, Afton went back and looked at the crying child's Fredbear plushie, only to find that it also seemed to be haunted. The crying child feared for his life every single day, and that plushie was something he was able to cry and pour his agony into. Afton believed that this is what caused the plushie to appear haunted. It wasn't made alive by the spirit of his son, it was made alive by the agony and fear his son poured into it. Afton quickly became obsessed with the
I had a
concept of
plushie.
haunted objects, and more specifically, the power
I
of
peed on
human emotion. He needed to find out if this is something he could take advantage of. Afton then used all of his
Hello, Deadman, how are you?
money he made from Fredbear's and Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to build a giant underground facility directly under his house. It was here that he would try to recreate what happened with his son, to recreate the fear and agony he experienced. In order to do this, Afton didn't take any chances. He needed to replicate exactly what his son went through every day. In order to do this, Afton built a replica of his house underground, along with his son's daily walk to Fredbear's family.
Wait, so he knew what the son was like? Everything that the son was going through? I guess just didn't care to do anything about it. Like even the bullying from Michael. He just didn't fucking care. Alright, I mean, fucking dad of the year.
Diner. He also built a makeshift bedroom where he could force kids to have the same nightmare every night. Afton would sit in his
Sister
office
location?
watching them on the cameras. Cameras that could be accessed using the passcode 1983, the year his son got bit. He also kept the crying child's Fredbear plushie on the desk as a reminder of what he was trying to replicate.
Bro said didn't ask.
In the makeshift bedroom, there were dummy animatronics that wheeled down the hallway. But the kids wouldn't see them as just blank dummies on wheels. Afton would pump hallucinogenic gas into the room to get the kids to think that what they were seeing was a monster. These nightmare gas canisters were being stored all throughout his underground facility. And on the bed of this makeshift bedroom was a Freddy plushie, in the hopes that the kids would pour their fear and agony into the plush, like his son did to his plushie. On the other side of the bunker, where Afton recreated the crying child's walk to Fredbear's, he placed a bunch of Fredbear plushies all over the place. These Fredbear plushies had walkie-talkies inside of them. This was Afton's way of recreating his son's imaginary friend that would talk to him wherever he went. Afton would speak to the kids through his walkie-talkie sitting in his private office. After setting up the
Wait, that would imply that he knows what the dreams were. So I guess he really did know everything. Maybe the kid told him or something. I mean, I guess... Fuck, okay.
bunker, Afton was only missing one more thing: the kids to run these experiments on. He needed a way to kidnap and capture kids without being caught, and he had the perfect way to do it.
The show will begin momentarily. Everyone, please stay in your seats.
Enter Circus Baby and the Funtime animatronics. These robots were specifically built by Afton to capture kids, featuring Circus Baby, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and Ballora. They feature advanced technologies such as parental tracking, voice mimicking / luring, and storage tanks. Circus Baby, the star of the group, was even able to make ice cream as a way to lure kids to her. Once the kid got too close, a giant claw would reach out, grab them, and lock them in the animatronics storage tank. Some of the board members from Fazbear Entertainment were suspicious of these new animatronics.
She can dance. She can sing.
Her head looks like a basketball.
Built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips. She can take song requests. She can even dispense ice cream.
With all due respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton.
Afton even created a new
I feel like I recognize that voice.
called Circus Baby's Pizza World. Elizabeth, William Afton's daughter, was fascinated by Circus Baby. All she wanted to do was play with her, but Afton wouldn't let her.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her? You let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go?
He strictly told her to stay away from the animatronic, but one day she didn't listen.
William's
On the opening
British.
Day of Circus Baby's Pizza
That
World,
explains it.
another domino would fall in Afton's life, and Elizabeth would soon be the victim of his terrible misdeeds.
I can do something special. Did you know that?
Withered
I
are
can
10
make
feet
ice
tall?
cream, although I only did it once. What a wonderful day, though. I was in a small room with balloons and a few tables. I would always count the children. I'm not sure why. They usually played together in groups of 2 or 3. There were 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Time to play.
Dude, everything looks so fucking good. It's actually crazy.
Ice cream. Something happened when there
Okay,
was
I guess
one.
no one heard that.
I was no longer myself. There was screaming for a moment, but only for a moment.
In an instant, Elizabeth was grabbed by Circus Baby and thrown into her stomach hatch. The sheer force of her being grabbed and thrown into the robot's storage tank was enough to kill her almost instantly. This is something that William wasn't able to test. That was until his daughter became the test. William Afton now lost another one of his kids, but this time it was
Cringe.
all his fault. After just one day of being open, Circus Baby's Pizza World was shut down. Afton covered up the incident by telling the public that the restaurant shut down due to gas leaks, but not everyone bought that story. The local newspaper wrote about the incident, saying, in other news, the grand opening of Circus Baby's Pizza World has apparently been canceled due to reported gas leaks in the building. Sources close to the establishment questioned the report, saying that strange activity around the area at night suggests something else is to blame. One local is quoted as saying, everything just stopped. There was so much excitement built around this place opening, and then they just stopped talking about it. A tenant from across the street claims to have witnessed a large group of cars surrounding the building during—
But how is no one suspicious about it? I mean, it's, I guess, whatever, but your son dies in your place and then your daughter dies in your other place and no one questions it.
during the night, and large pieces of equipment being taken out of the building under tarps. A few weeks later, the building was for sale. There is no comment yet from the local entrepreneur who financed the venture. That local entrepreneur, William Afton, successfully covered up everything. He was able to bring Circus Baby and the Funtime animatronics back down into his bunker, but once he got them there, he noticed something was different about Circus Baby. One distinct feature about Circus Baby was her blue eyes, but what once was blue eyes now were green, the same color as Elizabeth's. In that moment, he knew that his daughter's soul attached itself to the robot. Her soul lived on in Circus Baby. Afton knew that the way Charlie went on to possess the puppet was sloppy, and it was hard to recreate without getting caught. But what if the kids'
People aren't the
bodies were
brightest.
hidden where no one would ever look? What if, just like his daughter, their bodies were stuffed into the animatronics? For Afton, Elizabeth's death quickly went from just another inconvenience to a scientific breakthrough. Afton was one step closer to harnessing the power of life itself. But one successful experiment wasn't enough. Just like the fear experiments he built in the bunker, he needed to replicate exactly what happened. He needed to recreate the accident, and he knew exactly how he was going to do it. Using the Funtime animatronics again wasn't an option. Circus Baby's Pizza World was shut down, and the public was
Was it
already
not?
getting too suspicious.
I mean, the fact that he got away with it makes me think that it would be an option because no one really suspected that.
Of the animatronics, but he didn't need the Funtime animatronics. He was going to run the experiment himself. On June 26, 1985, William Afton made his way to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. There, he would put on the old Spring Bonnie suit from Fredbear's to lure 5 kids into the back room.
Oh, the Bonnie suit. Okay, so is that why I thought Bonnie was William Afton? I guess technically that's who he chose.
Hello. Looking for a friend.
The water's clear, come swim with me.
That music makes it so disturbing, to be honest. I don't like the way he's looking at them.
One by one, Afton killed them and stuffed their bodies into the animatronics. Susie was first, being stuffed into Chica. Gabriel went into Freddy, Jeremy into Bonnie, Fritz into Foxy, and then there was Cassidy, who went into Fredbear, aka Golden Freddy. At this point, Afton had no idea that the crying child spirit was in Golden Freddy, so he didn't think twice about shoving Cassidy in there. The way Afton killed Cassidy, though, was different from the rest. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were just regular animatronics. Afton had no choice but to kill them, then stuff them into the suits. But Golden Freddy wasn't just a regular animatronic, it was a Springlock suit. The same Springlock suit that took his youngest son's life. Afton was aware of how dangerous the Springlocks were. Any bit of moisture or too much movement would cause them to snap shut, slowly killing whoever was inside. So that's exactly what he did to Cassidy. He put him into the suit and watched as the Springlocks snapped shut.
I never got Golden Freddy.
Cassidy's death as the most brutal.
It's kind of sad.
Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy
It's super rare though, right?
Animatronics sitting in the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, though. They were joined by the security puppet, which contained the soul of Henry's daughter, Charlie. Once Afton was gone, Charlie jumped into action, almost acting as a guide for their souls, properly giving them life inside of each animatronic. After the incident, the kids were quickly reported missing by their families, and although the security cameras caught Afton luring the kids away, he wasn't able to fully get in trouble. Since he was wearing the Spring Bonnie suit, they were never able to prove it was actually him. Afton also hid the—
Yeah, I have no idea what they have animated and what they haven't, to be honest. I can imagine like some pieces that I've seen elsewhere would not have been animated, but
kids' bodies where no one would ever look, so the bodies were never found. Unbelievably, Afton was able to get away with yet another crime. Because of all the bad press that came from the missing children's incident, people stopped coming to the pizzeria. After months of customers no longer showing up, Fazbear Entertainment officially shut down Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Shortly after the pizzeria shut down, Afton decided to pull the Funtime animatronics out of retirement and finally get his underground facility fully operational. He knew he couldn't try opening another Circus Babies restaurant, so he had a new idea.
Due to the massive success and even more so the unfortunate closing of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, it was clear that the stage was set, no pun intended, for another contender in children's entertainment. Unlike most entertainment venues, our robotic entertainers are rented out for private parties during the day.
Afton opened Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental. This way, he could rent out the Funtime animatronics to local birthday parties, capture kids, and bring them back to his underground bunker to be experimented on. While Afton was
and
running
still
his
nobody
rental
caught
business,
on.
Fazbear Entertainment was determined to try opening another pizza.
I did hear that the story was kind of just thrown together over and over and over. Like, not necessary. Like, it wasn't like really planned out necessarily, I guess. Which to be fair, wasn't. I feel like I remember seeing a comment saying that the creator of FNAF, like, FNAF was supposed to be like the last game before the creator kind of gave up on making games or something like that, or like went homeless or bankrupt or something. Is that what the story was? So they were kind of just reinventing everything every single time that they made a game.
In the summer of 1987, Fazbear Entertainment opened the new
The story was an afterthought.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, this time with brand new versions of their original characters. These were called the Toy Animatronics, and they were once again built by Henry. Henry was aware of what happened in 1985.
Oh yeah, what the fuck was Henry doing all this time?
Especially of what happened to his daughter. So he was determined to make sure that never happened again.
Wait, so did Henry not make the kidnapping ones? Was that Afton that I guess made that? I thought William Afton wasn't like the engineer, so I guess he had some engineering skill in some way then.
Toy animatronics were equipped with facial recognition systems that were linked directly to a criminal database. The security puppet was also brought out of retirement, but instead of working security, it sat quietly in the prize corner. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, and Spring Bonnie were also moved to the new pizzeria, and it's revealed that these animatronics were mostly used for spare parts.
By now, I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now. The idea at first was to repair them, but they were just so ugly, you know? And the smell.
This means that the haunted metal of the original Freddy's animatronics was now being put into the toy animatronics, causing the toys to also now be possessed. After Afton got away with the first set of murders, he needed to see if the kids' spirits were possessing the animatronics. In order to see for himself, Afton went back to work at the new pizzeria as a daytime security guard. While Afton was working the day shift, Jeremy Fitzgerald was working the night shift. Jeremy worked there for 5 nights, and unfortunately for him, because the kids possessing the animatronics were killed by an adult, they were extremely aggressive to any adult they encountered.
They interact with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just stare.
Meanwhile, Afton decided to pull the same trick he did at the old Freddy's location, gaining 5 more victims.
Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it.
Afton used the Spring Bonnie suit to pull the same stunt again on 5 more kids. But as he was committing the murders, Charlie from inside the puppet was actively trying to save the kids.
No, this dude just can't be
He tried
stopped.
enlisting the help of the other animatronics, but it was too late. Afton had already finished what he started. Not only that, him seeing the puppet and Freddy walking around the pizzeria trying to stop him was all the proof he needed that his experiments were successful. The kids he put into the original suits were haunting the animatronics. But there was one problem. Afton knew that the haunted metal of the endoskeletons was the key to everything, but the animatronics were trapped at the pizzeria. There was no way he could bring them back to his underground bunker. He couldn't get to the animatronics if the pizzeria was still open and active, so he needed to find a way to make sure the pizzeria shuts down, and fast. Instead of stuffing the new set of victims into the toy animatronics, he decided to leave the kids out in plain sight, scattered throughout the pizzeria. This was a guaranteed way to get the pizzeria
Okay, so
shut
this is
down.
in-game, I'm
A few
guessing?
hours after Afton committed the murders, Jeremy Fitzgerald showed up for his night shift, unaware of what happened that day.
Hello. What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Listen, just finish your shift. It's safer than trying to leave in the middle of the night. We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday. You'll be on day shift. Wear your uniform. Stay close to the animatronics and make sure they don't hurt anyone, okay?
The next day, during Jeremy's day shift, one of the animatronics bit him in the head. This was infamously known as the Bite of 87. Meanwhile, Afton successfully got the pizzeria shut down. The local newspaper wrote about the incident, saying, after being open only a few short weeks, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is closing its doors. The new animatronics will be scrapped due to possible malfunctions. However, the original characters are being kept in hopes of a possible reorganization of the company. Since the toy animatronics were now being scrapped, he knew he could get away with taking their endoskeletons. But he also knew that he couldn't risk showing his face at the pizzeria again, so he got his oldest son Michael to do the work for him. William was easily able to get Michael to do whatever he wanted.
What a
William
fucking
was
creepy
abusive
model.
and manipulative, while Michael was haunted by the guilt of what he did to his younger brother. Because of this, Michael basically acted as William's puppet. Michael showed up for the night shift at the now closed Freddy Fazbear's Pizza under a code name, Fritz Smith. At the end of his shift, he would successfully steal the toy animatronics endoskeletons for his father, causing him to get fired his first day on the job due to tampering with the animatronics. As it said in the local newspaper, while Fazbear Entertainment scrapped the toy animatronics, the original Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were going to be fixed up and reused. And that's exactly what they did. After the 1987 Freddy's location shut down, they opened yet another location, this time using the exact same building as the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. As you can imagine, this didn't work out great for the business. People already had a bad impression of Fazbear Entertainment, so using the same building that the original murders took place in didn't help business. Customers barely showed up to the new pizzeria, leading it to shut down by the end of 1993. Although this was bad news for Fazbear Entertainment, this was great news for William Afton. Afton was able to acquire the endos of the toy animatronics, but that wasn't enough. He needed all of the haunted endoskeletons,
there's a reason for the odor?
the ones in the original animatronics. Once the pizzeria shut down, Afton came up with a plan to steal the endos from the animatronics. Each pizzeria was designed with something called a safe room.
As always, if there is ever an emergency, please go to the designated safe room. Every location is built with one extra room that is not included in the digital map layouts programmed into the animatronics or security system. This room is hidden to customers, invisible to animatronics, and is always off camera.
This room was hidden from guests and invisible to animatronics. Afton would use this to his advantage, luring each of the animatronics to the safe room and dismantling them one by one. The kids possessing these animatronics were the same kids he lured into the back room all those years ago. He planned to use the same trick to lure the same kids all over again.
Damn. I just noticed the cupcake has eyes as well. And teeth? No, they actually look kind of like innocent here. Wow, they actually look sad. They actually portray them to make them look like vulnerable here. I think I recognize that foot sound effect. Footstep sound effect. I think I've used it before. But it's actually crazy.
Dismantling each animatronic and stealing their endoskeleton, he brought them down to his underground bunker, where he...
That's crazy that while we feel so vulnerable in the game, they actually portrayed it in the... I'm guessing this is a custom animation. Portrayed William Afton to be so scary that even what we are terrified of him. Like, it's so well put together, huh? Oh, that was the FNAF. Okay, that's why I recognized it. Huh. I swear I've heard it elsewhere, though. Maybe people just use it for different things, but... Okay. Maybe I just have a sound effect that sounds very similar.
Would melt them all down into one liquid substance called Remnant. Not only did Afton rob these kids of their lives, he would use their souls long after they're gone for his own personal gain.
And children who just want freedom. That is insane to make our antagonist as the player like feel so sad. Whoever put this together is fucking so insanely talented though. Like, I'll probably feel bad for them anytime I play the next games, you know?
By melting down the endos, he successfully created Remnant. This substance, containing the spirits of all of the missing children, was silver in color, and if kept at the right temperature, was malleable. Afton didn't want to risk testing the Remnant on himself, so he injected it into the Funtime animatronics. Once he did, the animatronics jumped to life. The experiment had worked. William Afton unlocked the power of life itself. After his successful experiment, he went back to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to collect his old Spring Bonnie suit. But once he got there, he was met with the spirits of the 5 missing children, trapping him inside the safe room. Cassidy, the spirit inside Golden Freddy,
Are you suddenly afraid of them now?
Forced him to get into the Spring Bonnie suit.
Or at least Cassidy.
Was the most vengeful spirit of them all. Being spring-locked in the Fredbear suit was a painful and slow death, and he wanted to make sure that Afton knew what that felt like. At this point, Afton knew how a spirit could live on. As long as he was inside the suit, he knew he'd be back.
Damn. I was scared because he thought he destroyed them.
As Afton laughed, the spring locks
Yeah, they
snapped
cooked like
shut,
Afton
forcing
did.
him to go through what Cassidy went through. This was an act of revenge by Cassidy, and it wouldn't be the last. Afton was now confined to the safe room of the now shut down Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and because of this, everything in his underground bunker was left abandoned. But even with Afton gone, the rental business continued on its own. All of the Funtime animatronics containing the spirits of the missing children and even his daughter Elizabeth were still being rented out during the day and then brought right back down to the bunker. All the spirits wanted to do was escape, but they were always put back underground. After Afton went missing, his eldest son Michael, who's been blindly helping his father, remembered what his father told him if he ever went missing. If William wasn't there to finish his work, Michael would do it for him. Afton's underground facility was always off limits to Michael, but since he was now gone, Michael had no choice. He took the elevator down to where his father worked every day. Although Michael was helping out his father by stealing some of the endos from the animatronics back in the day, he never exactly knew what William was doing until he got down into the bunker.
The origin of the odor.
Over the several days he visited the bunker, he learned more about what his father was up to. He learned about the massive facility his father built, complete with multiple rooms conducting fear experiments. He learned the truth behind the Funtime animatronics and how they were actually designed to kidnap kids. And he learned through the voice of Baby exactly how his sister died.
A little girl, standing by herself, my stomach opened, and there was ice cream. I couldn't move, at least, not until she said...
Oh, is this in-game?
But as the week went on, Baby was conducting a plan of her own. A plan to escape the bunker, using Michael's body. Elizabeth was no longer the person Michael remembered her as. She was entirely devoted to her father, and would do anything to make him proud of her. At the end of the week, all of the Funtime animatronics endos were scooped out, with all of them combining into
The two antagonists, then?
called Ennard. This creature, containing the spirits of the missing kids and Elizabeth, knew they wouldn't be able to escape the bunker looking like an animatronic. They needed a human body to walk around in.
You are in the scooping room now. Funtime Foxy has already been here today. Funtime Freddy has already been here today. Alora has already been here today. Circus Baby has already been here today. I've been out before, but they always put me back. They always put us back inside. There's nowhere for us to hide here. There is nowhere to go when we look like this. But if we looked like you, then we could hide. If we looked like you, then we would have somewhere to go. The scooper only hurts for a moment.
What?
Michael Afton's insides got scooped out and replaced by Ennard, helping all of the souls.
I'm just
to escape the
mesmerized
facility.
sometimes.
With every passing day after this happened, Michael looked more and more like a walking zombie. His skin was starting to turn purple, and people started to notice. Michael's body was no longer a good disguise for Ennard, so Ennard ejected itself from Michael. But because the scooper was also a remnant injector, when Michael Afton was scooped, he was also injected with Remnant. The Remnant made it so even after Ennard was gone, he was still able to survive. With Michael now back in full control of his body, he had a new mission. Although he did, one way or another, successfully free his sister from the underground facility, he also learned about all of his father's terrible misdeeds. His loyalty to his father turned to disgust. It was time for him to end all of this.
Father, it's me, Michael. I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be. They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then...
Why are they sometimes British and other times not?
And I found her. I put her back together, just like you asked me to. She's free now. But something is wrong with me.
So William found the cure to death itself, I guess.
I'm not. I've been living in shadows. There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you. I'm going to come find you.
I wonder then, because this kind of leaves the door open. If this is like all that's like going on, doesn't this leave the door open to, like, I don't know, because there's no way that this isn't how people have died in the past in this world, like fucking Iron Maidens, which I don't think was a tool to kill people. It was just torture, if I'm not mistaken. But maybe I'm wrong. Actually, wait, I think you bled to death. It wasn't the crushing that killed you. I think that's what it was. So then doesn't that leave the door open for them to do like different time periods in this world? Just different stories, but the same concept, I guess. But I don't even know how that would work, to be honest. Medieval FNAF or something?
Michael would spend years searching for his father with no luck, until a new ad in the local newspaper caught his attention. Someone decided to open something called Fazbear's Fright, the horror attraction. Local amusement park is getting ready to scare your socks off with a new attraction based on the unsolved mysteries of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Featuring actual relics from the decades-old pizzeria, this new attraction is guaranteed to bring back your childhood in the worst possible way. As if using the crimes of his father to make a profit wasn't bad enough, they also went...
I was gonna say that seems kind of weird that people would make like an attraction based on something that actually happened, but then again, we literally like do that in real life. Like there wouldn't have been a movie about the Titanic, I guess. I'm pretty sure they probably at some point had the attraction.
Back to the old pizzerias and collected any objects they could find to put on display at the attraction. Michael immediately applied for the job of the security guard with the sole intention of burning the place to the ground. When he got there, he saw the remnants of his past. The shells of all of the animatronics, missing every single one of their endoskeletons. He knew they could only find the shells of the animatronics because he and his father stole their endoskeletons all those years ago, leaving only the shells behind. On day 2 of working at the attraction, he got word that they found a real animatronic.
You're not gonna believe this. We found one. A real one.
This real animatronic ended up being his father, still inside the Spring Bonnie suit he died in decades
Those organs.
ago. Even though his father was now in the building with him, he still decided to go through on his plan, all in an effort to end his father once and for all. Michael then rigged the wiring in the building to catch fire, burning the horror attraction to the ground with his father inside.
Medieval FNAF. I mean, yeah, like it's the same concept, right?
The local newspaper would write about the fire, saying a new local attraction based on an ancient pizzeria chain burned down overnight. Authorities have not ruled out foul play, but at the moment it seems to have been caused by faulty wiring. Although the fire destroyed most of everything in the building, William, miraculously, was able to survive. William was now free, roaming the outside world along
FNAF 3 was the most boring.
missing children, Elizabeth, and Charlie inside the puppet. Since Michael wasn't able to end everything, someone else needed to step in. That someone was Henry Emily. Afton's old business partner and father of Charlie heard about the fire at Fazbear's Fright, along with the rumors of the various animatronic creatures now roaming the streets. Henry was determined to put an end to all of this.
It's only now that I understand the depth of the depravity of this creature, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create. As if what he had already done wasn't enough. He found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy. As if the suffering wasn't enough.
Deathly boring.
The loss of innocence, the loss of
I got to find out one day.
So many people, small souls trapped in prisons of my making, now set to new purpose, and used in ways I never thought imaginable. He lured them all back to a familiar
Bro, like Henry was
place,
just sleeping this whole time.
familiar tricks. He brought them
William
all
did
together.
so much before Henry decided to do anything.
I hope not. It keeps me awake at night. I could make myself sleep, but not yet. Not until I undo what he has done and heal this wound. A wound first inflicted on me, but then one that I let bleed out to cause all of this. He set some kind of trap. I don't know what it was, but he led them there again. He overpowered them again, and he robbed them of the only thing that they had again. I don't know how those tiny breaths of life came to inhabit those machines, but they will never find rest now. Not like this. I have to call them all back. All of them. Together in one place.
By gathering all of the animatronics in one place and locking them in the same room, he would be able to burn them all to the ground.
That one on the right?
Effectively freeing their spirits in the process. In order to do this, Henry created a new restaurant called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place. He knew that the spirits and William couldn't resist coming back to a new location, even if it was all just a trap. Charlie was different though. She was smarter than the rest, so Henry knew she wouldn't be as easily fooled. So he created an animatronic called Lefty, standing for Lure, Encapsulate, Fuse, Transport, and Extract, specifically to capture the puppet and bring it to the pizzeria. While trying to find someone that would help him carry out his plan, one person showed up for the job, a person who was also determined to finally end all of this, Michael Afton. Day after day, the animatronics roaming the streets would show up in the alleyway next to the pizzeria.
Possibly.
Baby, aka Elizabeth, the souls of the missing children, and the crying child, now appearing as Molten Freddy, Charlie and Lefty, and his father, William,
oh wait, that was
all
him.
showed up in the back alley. Michael would then collect each animatronic and throw them into a facility under the pizzeria,
Molten Freddy
designed to
now.
be a maze with no exit, where the animatronics would roam around without even knowing they're trapped, until the end of the week, where they would all be burned to the ground. With all of the souls, including William himself, now in one place, Henry's plan was in motion. As far as Elizabeth and William were concerned, this was a good thing. All of this remnant now in one place was all that they wanted, until Henry stepped in.
You played right into our hands. Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you? No. This was a gift for us. You gathered them all together in one place, just like he asked you to. All of those little souls in one place, just for us. A gift. Now we can do what we were created to do and be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch. Listen.
Okay, but like, William had a wife. So wait, so the wife didn't, I mean, the wife lost their son, they lost their daughter, they have no idea what the fuck happened to their husband, presumably. And then their other son is now just a corpse, and they're just kind of they fucked off and just started doing their own thing somewhere or something. Like, no mention of the wife at all. Is she gonna be like the next William? She probably left him, probably. I guess oh, they divorced? So there was actually mention of her at some point somewhere. I guess that makes sense. I mean, people rarely stay together after their child dies, so it makes sense.
And be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If you still even remember that name. But I'm afraid you've been misinformed.
Can you blame her? No.
You are not here to
receive
a gift. Nor have you been called here by the individual you assume. Although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here. Into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection, and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit. A maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, No one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
Wait, so Lefty was the only one that wasn't possessed or something? Right? I don't think Lefty ever got possessed by anything. Or maybe I'm wrong. I actually can't remember. Also, they're just setting them on fire. Like, setting the endoskeletons on fire was what may just turn them into a metal that could be injected. I don't see what a fire's gonna do this time, but okay.
Henry putting fire to the animatronics.
Yeah, they were a catching device, but they weren't possessed, I don't think.
But some of them still needed help actually moving on into the afterlife. This help would come from Charlie. She helped guide the spirits into the robots. Now she would help them move on. In the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, the way a spirit can move on is by them being put into a happy memory. The memory Charlie chose actually comes from the crying child and the day he got bit. Piece by piece,
Dude, I totally forgot about the crying child, not gonna lie.
Memory back together. But this time, she would change it into a happy memory. Instead of the crying child getting bit on his birthday, Charlie changed it so that all of the missing kids and Charlie would celebrate him, giving him a giant birthday cake. By changing that terrible memory into a happy one and attaching all of the spirits to it, they were able to successfully pass into the afterlife.
Ooh.
Like I said, they were all able to move on, except for one.
Wait. Well, the tombstone in the back didn't have a spirit lifted from it.
Cassidy, the most vengeful spirit of them all, wasn't done yet. He decided to attach his soul to Williams, making sure that William was unable to move on. By attaching his spirit to Williams, he was able to trap Afton in an endless loop of death. He made Afton relive every one of his terrible misdeeds. The fear experiments, his underground bunker, and the pizzeria where Cassidy was killed. Afton experienced all of this while being attacked and killed over and over again by all of the animatronics from his past. Every time an animatronic would attack him, Cassidy would be there, reminding him that the suffering will never end.
We've only just begun. I will never let you leave. I will never let you rest.
He tried to release you. He tried to release us, but I'm not gonna let that happen. I will hold you here. I will keep you here, no matter how many times they burn us.
Cassidy knew that Afton didn't deserve the afterlife. He deserved to pay for what he's done for all of eternity.
Do we see this image at some point somewhere?
But if you keep up with the franchise, you know that that's not the end of the story. Like I said at the beginning of
well, no, they need to make more money somewhere.
Timeline is not easy, no matter what anyone says. In broad strokes, you can explain the basic plot, but once you get down to the motivations and the why of everything, you have to start filling in the blanks yourself. Some people who've helped me fill in the blanks that I'd like to shout out are Right Host for his theory about Cassidy being spring-locked in Golden Freddy. I think that makes a lot of sense and is really satisfying for the narrative. Also, I'd like to shout out MattPat for his theory about Midnight Motorist. After trying to figure that minigame out for years, I think your explanation makes the most sense. It's important for me to say that no one except for Scott Cawthon himself knows the exact story he was trying to tell. So please make sure to watch other people's timelines as well and come to your own conclusion on everything. And when the time is right, I'll be back to tackle the newer games in this franchise. Until then, make sure to subscribe and thanks for watching.
Bro, that shit was crazy. And this is just on YouTube for free, by the way. Like, an actual, like, full hour-long movie. Like, animated. Voice acting by Matt Pat? So MatPat did have something to do with it outside of just his theory. Even after all these years, MatPat is still around. Oh, these are like the models. Damn. Well, thank you for the video, FNAF. Like, what the fuck? That is insane to me that they actually just put a, like, I wonder how much money that cost. It couldn't have been cheap, right? Like, did MatPat help produce it? Who produced it? Like, who put the funding behind it? If that was anything like under like total like $30,000, I'd be very, very surprised. Lore kind of corny. I mean, yeah, because it's like, I mean, we're talking about like 10 plus years of lore, and like across like 8 games, like however many books at this point. Same with most indie horror games. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like that's most, I feel like that's most things, though. Like, most horror games at the end are kind of just like, that's okay, you know? Something wants revenge, or something wants to, like, unify the entire world, like, even Halo's Flood was wanting to unify the entire world. Even, Dead Space's, Necromorphs wanted to unify the entire world. I like stories though that where it's like you can kind of just make up your own story about it. It'll be interesting for me to see as someone that like has little to no knowledge about FNAF. Like now I guess I know this, but like I don't really know how you even see this in the games. Apart from like the minigame in I guess FNAF 4. And I guess like the little beginning dialogue and stuff here and there, but yeah, this will be interesting for me to see as a new player, to see it. Okay, we'll see how it goes. I want to play through the entire FNAF series once I get my live 2D model, slowly but surely. Perhaps do 420 on FNAF 1 at some point as well when I get my newest model. We'll see how it goes. But alright. That is a crazy... It's a cool story, very messy I'm sure. So it's a very crazy video. Choo Choo Charles didn't have the best story either. I mean, Choo Choo Charles was more of a meme than anything, and they probably just gave it a story. But that is insane. If that is true, if what I heard was true, that Scott, like FNAF was Scott's final project before he gave up either on games or just went bankrupt or homeless or something. I don't remember what it was. And then now I'm assuming Scott's a fucking millionaire at this point, right? Like, there's no way bro didn't cash in. And now like there's a movie, I think, right? Was Markiplier in the movie or MatPat? Someone was in the movie, I'm pretty sure. Some YouTube person was in the movie. But yeah. Mad Pat was? Okay. I feel like I remember hearing about Markiplier being in a movie with FNAF or something to do with FNAF, but I think it was rumored he was, maybe. I guess we'll see. See if it ever comes up in a game or if I just find a clip somewhere. But yeah. Alright. What do we do now, though? Now that we... I've done that. We have about like another... We've been streaming for an hour and a half now. He was in the Random Encounters musical of the game. Was he? Oh. Grounded, try not to laugh, water park sim. We could go into Grounded. I have finished my base, well, some of the base. ASMR. I would on YouTube if it wasn't for YouTube being so weird with ASMR. Like I remember when, what was her name? Vialore, do that Wholesome's organization, VTubing organization, one of their talents, ate a cookie on stream and they gave her a strike. So the one time I did ASMR on stream, I don't remember doing that. I might have done something similar, but I don't recall. Fix my thing, cause I had to stretch it. Oh, it was during a VR chat stream. Okay. Well, I don't know if I was doing ASMR. I guess I was like touching the camera. Yeah, that was mostly like face touching stuff in VR chat, right? Okay, I'll show what's been going on in the base here though. Because slowly but surely it's coming through. I haven't hopped in like the last 3 days though. Not gonna lie. But okay, so this is the bedroom. This is where we start, right? Then we have our balcony. What we have now, actually, if we just go like to the bottom, we have currently this, that supporting something up there. I got rid of the thing in the center. Sucks that I had to get rid of it, but we had to get rid of it because there was just nothing to put inside there. The pallets. Up. And then we have our staircases, our spiral staircases up. And this is the bedroom, right, where you're posturing. I had the chill zone up here, right? I want to replace this with a door that like goes into like a tower. I need to fill this in, and then we need to fill in the roof. But this is what we have so far. Dark wood too. What's dark wood?
Anything interesting out here?
Yeah, so this is what we got so far. Pretty neat. A classic Foxy plush.
Joining the proletariat.
Let's go ahead and grab some more stems elsewhere. stupid mosquito. I've been looking lately for the like red stems, because they give more stems for everyone that you break. Gotta go for the night? No worries. Good night. Thanks for joining us. Oh, I thought that was a... Oh, wait, that is a wolf spider. Bolt Gun 2 trailer. Alright, Tank. Good night. It was nice having you. I have not seen the Bolt Gun trailer, no. I did, however, see the stuff for the Halo campaign. So did I like the look of it so far, from what I saw.
You okay there, bud? Death comes for my bug friend. Yeah. Gotta pick up the stragglers.
There we go.
You've been spared for now.
Oops, didn't mean to pick all this stuff in my inventory again.
I caught a chewy bit. Water, bringer of life.
Oops. Oh, what the fuck? I almost just took all my fucking stuff from the fucking soldier ant again. I'll have a look. Yeah, I like the look of the next Halo game so far. The campaign evolved. It does look kind of nice. I'm sure people are gonna have a seizure about the fucking...
Reloading.
People are gonna have a seizure about sprinting in Halo. But the fact that they're bringing in campaign levels... Cause I know that, like, basically every... Four-player co-op camping? Like, what do you mean? I mean, from what I've seen, what I've heard, there's nothing really to complain about, really. I think the biggest complaint is no multiplayer. But I assume that they're probably going to do that eventually anyway. Like, it kind of just makes sense for them to add it eventually. The campaign is 4-player. Yeah, but you can play it. You can play it without, you know. We don't need another player to play it, right? I also saw like after the little videos that I've seen, them talking about bringing in things like the, god damn it, I keep hitting F because the game that I was playing, you would use F. Just think it's odd. What, do they have 4 players? I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't think they're... I just did it again. I keep... I mean, people want to play with their friends, so it makes sense that they're enabling you to do that, if you really want to. Yeah, new enemies, new weapons. Adding, like, the pure forms... is interesting, although I actually don't know... Now that I think about it, I don't know if I like that, because the pure forms make sense when there's a grave mind. But there is no grave mine on the first game. Like, that was the point of Captain Keys, you know? So, like, yeah, cool, it'll be cool. It would be cool to see an improved pure form, sure, but it doesn't make sense for them to add it, from what I can tell. At least from, yeah, at least from what I can recall of the lore, there really shouldn't be a grave mine.
Anything interesting out here? Making ammo.
Never liked the chief story. I mean, Arbiter definitely had the more interesting thing for sure. Cause the Arbiter's thing was actually like growth in Halo 2 and and well, mostly Halo 2. Halo 3, Arbiter was kind of boring cause he was more of just a background character. Halo 3, Master Chief was more interesting because he had to like go through without being with Cortana, and then kind of, you know, go through all of that. But yeah. From what I can tell, yeah, it doesn't, nothing about it, other than maybe the complaint about the lore from the pure form standpoint. There's nothing about the campaign Evolved that I have a problem with. Being able to pick up the swords like you were always able to after Halo 1. Sprinting I don't have a problem with, although I know a lot of people do, but I just never had a problem with sprinting after Halo Reach. Cause I don't have all day to play games anymore, so I would rather just be able to play my game and get from place to place quickly. And also, he's a fucking Spartan. Of course he can sprint. As far as... I think it is a little bit weird that they're changing some things. Like, I know some things that people have pointed out are like, why did they change the assault rifle from 64 to 32? And it's like, that also... Like, yeah, that really doesn't really... that didn't need to be changed, but they did for some reason. I wonder if they'll make it so that the flood basically can't fucking die from sniper rifles anymore, because for some reason in the first game, the original, you couldn't kill flood with sniper rifles. It just did like no damage to them for some reason. And I remember seeing gameplay, and it looks like... It looks like, you can't one-shot hunters in the back with the pistol anymore. So hunters are actually a threat now, even if you have a pistol. Which is good. I know people are gonna go play the shit out of that, but honestly it made no sense that hunters were so easily defeated. Food? You get some food then. Probably gonna flop hard. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I just don't want to be pessimistic about it. As much as I want Microsoft to quite literally go bankrupt, I don't want them to go bankrupt on Halo. I want Halo to be successful because it's a game and genre and franchise worth being successful. But I do want Microsoft as a whole to collapse. Just leave Halo alone.
Why detect a hint of oak? I'm a well-respected artisan.
There's so much shit. Oh man, I probably didn't get enough wood stems for this, did I? Because there's so many of them. Yeah, I've only got about half of them done. That was all of my wood stems. I'd rather not go into a game wanting to hate it, because then I can always find a reason to hate something. Hating something is easy. Loving something is a lot harder. Again, also I just don't really see so far any reason to actually have a problem with it. At least gameplay wise. But we'll see. See how it goes.
Tired? I'm tired all the time.
Nope. Anyhow, when was my last, let me check, my last upload was...
This is elating.
It's been over a week at this point, hasn't it? Or no? 11 days at this point, okay. So probably tonight or tomorrow I'm gonna be working on the next video then for this channel. I know what I want to do. Yeah, it's been 11 days since my last YouTube video here. And 5 since my last video on the VT channel. See how quickly I can get out the reaction to Five Nights at Freddy's, the video we just watched today. Considering it's by far the longest reaction video I've ever done. It was over an hour long because the video was so fucking long. This video ever end. I mean, I guess across 10 years of, you know,
Joining the proletariat.
10 years of a game being made. There was a lot of content to have to cover. What's interesting is they made it actually like coherent for us watching it. So, like, I wonder how much of that stuff we'll be able to like kind of figure out or like notice on our own.
Anything interesting? Making my mark. Ah.
I can't watch or listen to lore. I like watching lore videos, even if it's on things that I don't pay attention to or play or anything. Like, I remember watching a villain analysis by a YouTuber called Fat Brett. A villain analysis about a few characters actually, but one of them was a Sephiroth. And I never played any of those games. I know very little about them. I also watched a video about Odin from what's it called? God of War. Yeah, I mean, these lore videos that I watch I usually don't just watch them straight up. I usually have them playing in the back whenever I do something. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there was a couple times where I kind of tuned out while watching the FNAF video. Was like just looking at chat, and then I would realize, oh, I haven't said anything in like a minute. That's sometimes just how it is. What do we all have to eat? Beans and rice with chicken? That sounds good. I had chicken and rice today as well. Bro, yesterday? I made a mistake yesterday. I mean, it was fine. Like, I didn't get a stomachache or anything, but literally... So, my family from now and then, like every now and then, they make like ceviche and stuff like that. Usually for like, usually for celebrations. But I bought... Like, sometimes they use shrimp for ceviche, sometimes they use... imitation crab for ceviche, sometimes both. So I bought imitation crab. But I was like, okay, I'll just buy that, and if they want to use it, they'll use it. Maybe I'll use it, I don't know. Fast forward to yesterday, where I realized we still had this imitation crab that I bought like 2 months ago. And I was like, I don't want this to go bad. Unfortunately, we didn't have the hard tortillas that we usually have. So I just put this fucking brick of fucking imitation crab on a piece of flatbread and just like fucking ate it that way. And I like imitation crab, but I don't like it enough to want to eat like a brick of it, apparently. I did eat all of it, but over the span of like 5 hours, I had like half of it before stream, and then I had half of it after stream. I remember turning around and seeing it like on, like I have a bench behind me, like just a normal seated like seat bench behind me. I remember seeing it there and just being like, oh, I still have to finish that. It was like so. Not wasting. I wanted to throw it away, I'll be honest, but yeah, I don't like wasting stuff. I guess I would annoy with my mom, my sister, especially my sister. My sister would be like, I feel like having, you know, like Wendy's or whatever. So she'll go and get Wendy's, and then she'll have like a quarter of everything that she orders and throw the rest away. And it's like, yeah, no wonder I have more money than you, despite you making like $3,000 a month, and I make only 1,000. Cause you keep doing shit like that, where you keep just buying food that you just refuse to eat. It was just a block of fucking crab. Fuck. Bro, this ant is still fighting. Bro, I literally like put my like hand under the I opened the packet. I just shoved my hand under the brick and just like plopped it onto a piece of flatbread. it didn't disturb it at all. It literally was just a brick. I thought I can imagine that.
Carrying capacity, I guess.
That's the funny thing though about like streaming, because like there's stuff like that where it's just like I don't know if this is gonna work. But if it doesn't, then it'll be funny, and I get to say and I get to talk about it on stream anyway.
I should really catch you up. Yeah. Whoa. Water, bringer of life.
Like, it reminds me so much about like Rooster Teeth back in the day. You know, like they would how Rooster Teeth, like Gavin and Jeff would always just like start recording random things, and they're just like, we don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
You've gone soft these last 2 years. Prove me wrong.
Like they don't know what the fuck is gonna happen with whatever they're trying, but even if it doesn't work out the way they thought, it would still be funny. Like to turn it into a video anyway. Yeah, it's always nice. I'm thinking next week I'll play Hunt Showdown on stream. I played Hunt Showdown earlier today actually with a friend of mine. Had some pretty nice games. Got quite a few headshots today actually, like 10 or so kills, like most of them were headshots. Ow. What the fuck is Asher doing all the way over there? Come on. There you go. Oop. Gotta put this away. You know what I really want to do on stream? Actually. And I don't know if I'll like, whoops, hold on. I don't know if I should do it now or after I get my live 2D model. I mean, both would be working. But I'll be honest, I do like the sort of let's say, oh shit, hold on. Dynamite. Yeah, the fact that I don't know why that thing gave me trouble. It was weird. Here we go. There you go. See if I can jump up here. There you go. Let's try this, actually. This? Actually, hold on.
Anything interesting out here?
Is that really the only... Oh, that is thing. Oops. Oh, I was talking about... I'll explain it like this. I was streaming on another platform, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I should like kind of ease into being myself here a little bit, because I was playing a game, I was playing Honey Pop, and the whole beginning of that game is just so much talking and stuff, right? So I was like just wondering to myself, like, should I ease into like my own sense of humor because people here don't really know me quite yet? Cause I remember, like, and it made me laugh, but you know, obviously if you don't know me, if you don't know who I am, and that I'm not like, I don't actually have you know, ill feelings towards anybody, then me randomly blurting out in the middle of this tutorial something along the lines of, how am I supposed to respect women if they keep talking to me? If you don't know who I am, that's gonna sound really weird. Just me randomly saying that. So, but I love edgy humor. Like, I actually really love it. To me it's probably like, it's really funny to me. And so I'm just wondering to myself, like, I wanna like do the I want to watch like the try not to laugh challenges, but they're like a bit edgier. Oops. Fuck. Oh, here you go. I was wondering where this went. Has Been season 2 came out? Yeah, I forgot about that show. I haven't watched it, but I know a lot of people love it. Yeah. How does that look though? I like the way that looks. Not gonna lie. Hey, get me up there. Unfortunately, I can't repair this thing for some reason. Gotta get some more. Oh, so that guy's just hanging out over there.
Out here? Joining the bikes can't do that.
Go ahead and plug in my phone. Make you fiend for 7 days again. It's a fun game. No idea how long Gary and I will be playing through it, but I've been grinding it. What kind of build are you going for? Let's try... Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. A spear and shotgun. Not bad. I mean, strongest... What the fuck? The strongest build as far as I'm aware are shotguns and... pistols. Well, agility. So strength and agility. Intelligence build? I feel like intelligence is more like a... You're playing with friends type thing. Well, I mean, maybe. Because intelligence, you also... Intelligence, the whole thing about it is being able to, like, build the turrets, right? But I mean, for me, that's never really been a problem because we have such high loot and stuff. And we do quests so much that we usually are able to get the auto turrets anyway. So it's usually not an issue for us. Everything can work. Apparently, actually, when I looked up the tier list about it, people were saying that it's actually fortitude. So the knuckle knife, or knuckle knife, the steel knuckles is the best melee weapon. I guess because it hits so fast, so you can decapitate them so like really quickly. That's the idea.
Tired? I'm tired.
Have to go visit the tree then. For me, I would say, like in order, I would say probably from what I've played, and I played just about everything. It's probably shotguns, like, so strength weapons, like, or shotguns, agility, probably fortitude, because fortitude is assault rifles, perception, and then intelligence. As far as like rifles go. As far as melee weapons, it's probably fortitude, agility, strength, and then intelligence and perception are probably like on par with each other. The nice thing is about that game though is like everything works. Like if you just know how to use everything and play into your own strengths, everything in 7 Days to Die works.
Joining the proletariat.
It's just you can't really ignore the fact that machetes having already a default high decapitation rate, and then you can increase that is actually pretty good. State of Decay 3. I remember watching State of Decay stuff way back in the day. I never played it, but I remember watching it. If I remember correctly, Let's Play or Achievement Hunter back in the day played it, and I think Monty Oum, obviously before he sadly passed away, Monty Oum appeared for one of them, because it was Michael that was playing, and Michael had Gavin, and I want to say Bernie at some point, and then Monty Oum wasn't one of them. So much clothes in GTA. GTA has never been known for its fashion. Oh. Where the fuck are you going?
Now we're
Oh, there's a tooth here somewhere. I'm glad I didn't end up buying anything in Skate. Not because I didn't like it, but it just didn't hold my attention. But hopefully, I know a lot of people are really liking Skate even now, though. I literally did everything and dropped it. I just can't get the hang of the tricks in that game.
Taste is a luxury you can afford. At this size, anyway.
Ah, here we go. I thought so. This fucking ant. I don't know what it is with the mounts, but they just keep like running into you, like aggressively running into you, and so you're not able to do anything except interact with them anymore.
Science isn't so hard. Let's take a second to get our composure.
Ooh, spider.
I really hope you're preparing for my test. It'd be so boring if you die right away.
It's crazy that I know someone that sounds exactly like this person. Like literally exactly. I'm 100% Fallout. We are approaching November. So we're gonna be starting Nostalgia November pretty soon. I wonder what game we should play first. Fallout New Vegas will make a return. Again, we have both Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. What the fuck? I live and learn. Immediately just hear it in my head.
Water, bringer of life.
Should probably. There we go. Okay. I keep getting hungry and I don't want to deal with that anymore. There you go. Here we are. And we are finally done. Now we just need decorations. But what kind of decorations should we use? Blueberry chair. Bro, look at this thing. This thing is fucking massive. Is this thing, it's not a bed. I wonder. Yeah, I never played any of the Fallout games minus New Vegas. You guys saw how far I got in that one.
This should toughen you up.
Damn it.
Bye. Chauffeur.
There you go. That's the biggest issue out of the way. Ow.
You okay there, bud? Whoa.
There you are.
So you do remember how to do this a little. Noted.
I'm pretty sure I have needles. Game's just not showing them for me. Or do I need more needles? Yeah, I have needles.
Chauffeur.
I'm gonna put the spider away because the sounds of it keeps tripping me up. I keep thinking that an enemy is near. Okay, there we go. Oh man, just 2 more acorn shells. Skyrim? I did definitely think about it. Could do Skyrim, could do Monster Hunter World. I think I'll go ahead and we'll wrap up the stream here, kind of. I'm gonna look through my library and we can talk about what games can we play that are like nostalgia for a moment before I leave. So 7 Days to Die, we already played 7 Days to Die, and that's technically like a nostalgia thing. Because I've been playing it since I was like 14, or like 16, I think. As far as like older games that we have, BioShock 1 and 2 have the same problem that FNAF has, and that's that those games just were made before like streaming and the, you know, recording your screen was a regular thing, so they break whenever I tab out of them, basically. But we have Borderlands, like the first game, Castle Crashers, Cave Story, Dark Souls, Dungeon Defenders, Fallout New Vegas. We could also make a return to Oblivion Remastered. We have Half-Life. Half-Life 2. Horizon Zero Dawn is nostalgia at this point. Oh yeah, the Castle Crashers DLC thing as well. Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter World. I'm gonna return to Monster Hunter Wilds when I get my new computer, that's for sure. My time at Porsche, my time at Sandrock. Portal and Portal 2. Although I'm pretty sure, like, if I play that game, I don't know if I've stayed away from those games long enough that I don't remember. That I don't remember it. Remember the puzzles. Oh, there's a little cute game called A Story About My Uncle that was made by the Goat Simulator people. And it came out around the time of Goat Simulator, so like 2016, something like that. And like that's about it that we have as far as nostalgia. We do have Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated as well. So there's that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll look at Steam, see what I can buy. Probably won't buy too much because again I need to disable it for my computer, my new computer. But we'll see. Anyhow, I'm going to hop off. Thank you all for joining me. Yeah, I love Battle for Bikini Bottom. It was such a fun game. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off. Thank you all for joining me. It was fun. Glad we got day 6 out of the way, or night 6 on FNAF. And yeah. Alright, good night everyone, sleep well. We'll try to get the next ASMR video out by the end of the week. Right. Love you all. Thank you for the donations.